श्री बिमल जुल्का जी, प्रधानमंत्री के मीडिया सलाहकार श्री पंकज पिचौरी जी, श्रीमती नीलम कपूर, श्री जितेंद्र शंकर माथुर जी, ईरा जोशी जी, विश्वनाथ जी, यहाँ पर उपस्थित सारे ही महानुभाव, सबसे पहले तो मैं प्रकाशन विभाग को बहुत बहुत मुबारकबाद देना चाहता हूं कि एक बार फिर से उन्होंने एक ऐसे मील पत्थर का जिसकी सभी लोगों को प्रतीक्षा रहती है और जो भारत के विकास और भारत के जो अनेक पहलू हैं उनके ऊपर बहुत ही विस्तृत और भरोसेमंद जानकारी देता है। सदियों से चली आ रही जो एक विश्वसनीयता की रिलेशनशिप है, उसको आज और इस बार फिर प्रकाशन विभाग ने बरकरार रखा। उनको मैं बहुत मुबारकबाद देना चाहता हूं। If you were to look back over the past 10 years and picking up from where my esteemed colleague Mr. Pankaj Pichori had left off, what the UPA has endeavored to do is to not only broad base, expand, but also amplify a very liberal information order which underpins the essence of democracy in our country. If you look at any sector, whether it is broadcasting, where, if my memory serves me correctly, there were about 100 odd channels in 2004. That number has grown to 798 at the last count. Similarly, if you look at the radio sector, not only phase 1 and phase 2 of the FM program was successfully implemented, but more importantly, the very ambitious phase 3, which is now currently being rolled out, whereby 839 new radio stations will be opened up across 294 cities, is only another milestone in broad-basing this liberal information order. Community radio, which allowed communities to be able to customize their content and to put it out not only for local listenership, but more importantly, also create niche markets, has been a very, very successful and a very pioneering effort by the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Similarly, the new media space which has opened up, which of course does not require any license from anybody, but the manner in which we have tried to establish an institutionalized presence also lends itself to the fact that the government, the UPA government, has been willing to engage with all stakeholders across a very broad spectrum of media platforms which are available. Coupled with that, the expansion of the AIR, the Doordarshan network, which is the public broadcaster, tells its own story about our commitment to redefining the contours of the very permissive and liberal information order, which is essential for the progress of any country. What worries me is that if you juxtapose these last 10 years with some of the developments which are taking place today, it seems that fundamental media freedoms are under a challenge. If you read the tweets of some very eminent journalists, which are available in the public space, they clearly point towards an intimidation, which essentially, translated into one word, says that if you are not with us, if you are not with us, then you are against us. And if you are against us, or if you are critical, you have no right to be critical. तो जो चाय पे चर्चा का हिसाब पूछते हैं, उनसे जिस तरह से बर्ताव किया जा रहा है, it brings the fundamental question of liberty into debate. Though this is not the occasion on the release of India 2014, but I thought it's an extremely important issue which needs to be underscored, because if the very constitutional values on which the Indian state is founded are not preserved and protected, and all stakeholders in the public discourse do not rise up to this challenge and nip this tendency in the bud, I am afraid we are going to have a situation in this country whereby the discourse, rather than critical, is unfortunately going to end up becoming extremely tame. I was quite surprised, because if eminent former editors, if leading news personalities, people who have led the discourse in the past 10 or 15 years, if they start feeling a sense of insecurity, if they start feeling that their freedom of expression is under threat, you can very well imagine as to what can then happen to an ordinary person who today, through a tweet or through a Facebook post or through the new media, has the freedom, the option of being able to put out his views in the public space. So therefore, as we celebrate the release of India 2014, which really tells the story of India's development, India's journey over the past couple of years, I think it is also very important that we take note of the fact that there is a spectre of intolerance which looms over the horizon. And if all right-thinking, progressive and liberal people do not stand up to this spectre of intolerance, I am afraid democracy as we know it may be in peril. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.